The bold and the beautiful continues to captivate its audience with twists and turns that no one saw coming. The latest chapter in the life of Ridge Forrester takes a dark and shocking turn as he is forced to confront a long-buried secret from his past that could destroy everything he has worked for. A hidden affair, an undiscovered child, and a betrayal of monumental proportions threaten to tear the Forrester family apart. What begins as a deeply personal issue for Ridge quickly spirals into a family-wide crisis, setting the stage for devastating revelations, lies, and, ultimately, murder. Ridge, a man known for his strength and leadership, finds himself cornered by the ghosts of his past. A secret so dark, so destructive, has been hidden for years, and now the truth is about to come out. The affair Ridge had with Donna Logan, one of his longtime family friends, is revealed, and the consequences are immediate and dire. Ridge, in an attempt to protect his reputation and keep his life with Brooke intact, went to great lengths to cover up the affair. But the most shocking revelation is the existence of a child Ridge never acknowledged, a child that was kept hidden from the world. This child, the result of his affair with Donna, was taken away from her shortly after birth, with Ridge orchestrating a lie so elaborate that even Donna believed it. He convinced her that their child had died shortly after birth, sparing them both the heartache of knowing the truth. The child was sent to Europe, hidden away from the world, and Ridge continued his life as if nothing ever happened, as if he and Donna had never shared a past. However, this secret did not remain buried forever. As Ridge works to maintain his picture-perfect life with Brooke, the walls slowly begin to close in around him. The Forrester family, always in the public eye, is rife with rumors and tensions. Ridge's past begins to resurface when an innocent conversation, one Ridge thought was private, becomes the catalyst for everything unraveling. Quinn Fuller, a woman who has always had her own share of secrets, overhears a conversation between Ridge and an unknown man. The man, who Ridge had entrusted with the task of taking their child to Europe, reveals the truth to Quinn. The child is alive, and Ridge has been lying to everyone, including Donna, for years. Quinn, intrigued and horrified by the information, decides that she cannot let this betrayal go unnoticed. She knows that Eric, Ridge's father, would never forgive him if he learned the truth, and she becomes determined to expose Ridge for what he has done. Quinn believes that the family must know the truth about Ridge's actions before it's too late. But Ridge is not a man who can be easily threatened. When Quinn begins to put the pieces together and confronts him, Ridge's fear of losing everything, of losing his status in the Forrester family, overwhelms him. He knows that if Eric finds out, his life will be ruined. Eric Forrester, a man who has built his legacy on family and trust, will never stand by a son who has betrayed him in such a horrific way. Ridge's fear turns into desperation, and in that moment, he decides that no matter the cost, he cannot let Quinn expose him. Without hesitation, Ridge takes matters into his own hands. In a move that shocks even him, Ridge kills Quinn, ensuring that her silence is secured forever. The moment is swift, ruthless, and cold. Ridge, in his panic and anger, eliminates the threat Quinn poses to him and his family, leaving her body to disappear without a trace. Quinn, once a vibrant part of the Forrester family, vanishes into thin air, her fate sealed by Ridge's actions. As the days pass, the family begins to notice her absence, but they assume she is simply gone, perhaps off on a trip, unaware of the dark and twisted truth behind her disappearance. Carter, Quinn's boyfriend, remains in the dark, completely unaware that his life has just been shattered by the tragic death of the woman he loved. Quinn's sudden and unexplained disappearance adds to the growing tension within the Forrester family, as no one can explain where she has gone or why she has left. Meanwhile, Ridge's actions have set off a chain of events that will ultimately tear the Forrester family apart. Donna, who has always been a part of the Forrester legacy, begins to feel the weight of the secret she was forced to keep for so many years. The truth of their child's existence haunts her, and she begins to question everything she has known about Ridge. Her love for him, her trust in him, and her belief in their future together are shattered. The realization that Ridge has been living a lie, hiding the truth not only from her but from the entire family, begins to erode the foundation of their relationship. As the investigation into Quinn's disappearance intensifies, the Forrester family starts to look inward. Ridge's once unblemished reputation begins to fray at the edges as the truth slowly starts to come to light. Eric, still unaware of the full extent of Ridge's betrayal, becomes suspicious. The whispers around the Forrester estate grow louder, and Ridge's attempts to cover up the truth only make things worse. As more clues surface and as Quinn's disappearance becomes harder to ignore, the family begins to turn on one another. Ridge's world, once so carefully constructed, begins to crumble, and he realizes too late that his actions have cost him everything he holds dear. For Brooke, the woman Ridge has promised to love and protect, the betrayal cuts the deepest. She struggles with the knowledge that Ridge, the man she has always loved and trusted, has been hiding such a monumental secret from her. The truth about Ridge's affair with Donna and the existence of their child shakes Brooke to her core. As Brooke confronts Ridge, their relationship teeters on the edge of destruction. The man she thought she knew, the man she thought she could build a life with, has proven to be someone else entirely. The emotional pain of being deceived for so long is almost too much to bear, and Brooke is left questioning everything: her relationship with Ridge, her future, and her own self-worth. As the Forrester family tries to piece together the truth about Quinn's disappearance and Ridge's actions, they are faced with the undeniable fact that things may never be the same. The Forrester legacy, built on family, love, and trust, is now threatened by Ridge's darkest secret. The once proud Forrester family finds itself divided, fractured by lies, deceit, and murder. Ridge's desperate attempt to keep his life intact has set off a chain of events that may be impossible to undo. And as the investigation into Quinn's disappearance intensifies, it becomes clear that there will be no easy resolution. Ridge's fate, and the fate of everyone involved, will be shaped by the truth, a truth that could destroy everything he has built and everything he holds dear. In the end, Ridge will have to face the consequences of his actions. The Forrester family may never recover from the betrayal that has been exposed, and Ridge will have to come to terms with the fact that his lies, his affair with Donna, and his involvement in Quinn's death have forever changed the course of his life. The world of the bold and the beautiful has always been one of passion, power, and betrayal, but the dark secrets of Ridge Forrester's past have taken the drama to new heights, and no one, not even Ridge himself, can escape the fallout. The Forrester family's world was turned upside down when Carter Walton, the Forrester family lawyer and Quinn's boyfriend, finally uncovered the truth. The sudden disappearance of Quinn had been the catalyst for a chain of events that no one could have anticipated. For weeks, Carter had been suspicious of the circumstances surrounding Quinn's vanishing, but he could never have imagined the dark and twisted truth that lay beneath the surface. Driven by his love for Quinn and his need for justice, Carter began to dig deeper, searching for any clues that could explain her sudden disappearance. What he uncovered shocked him to his core. Quinn had been murdered, and Ridge Forrester was responsible. The pieces fell into place when Carter managed to track down Quinn's mysterious final days. He discovered the incriminating details of Ridge's conversations, his lies, and the shocking truth behind Quinn's fate. Carter's investigation took him down a dangerous path, one that ultimately led him to the truth. Ridge had killed Quinn to protect the secret of his affair with Donna Logan and the child they had together. With the truth now in his hands, Carter knew he had to expose Ridge for the murderer he was. But as he started to prepare for the confrontation, there was another twist. The child that Ridge had thought was lost forever had returned. The child, who had been secretly hidden away in Europe, now stood before Ridge, accusing him of not only covering up the truth about their existence, but of orchestrating the entire scheme to keep the family from finding out. The child had grown up in Europe, unaware of the truth until recently, when the pieces of their past started to unravel. With a voice full of pain and anger, the child revealed everything: how Ridge had lied to Donna, how he had ordered their relocation to Europe under the false pretense that they were dead, and how he had done everything in his power to keep this secret buried. The child, whose life had been shaped by Ridge's betrayal, now stood before him, demanding justice. The revelation that Ridge had a child with Donna, hidden away from the world, was earth-shattering enough. But the fact that Ridge had murdered Quinn to keep his secret safe made the entire Forrester family question everything they knew about the man they had once trusted. Ridge had always been portrayed as the strong, respected patriarch of the Forrester family, but now he was a man who had gone to unimaginable lengths to protect his own reputation, sacrificing those who stood in his way. When the child confronted Ridge in front of the Forrester family, it was the breaking point. The truth was undeniable now. Ridge had betrayed everyone. The Forrester family was left in disbelief, trying to come to terms with the enormity of what had been uncovered. Eric, Ridge's father, could hardly believe what he was hearing. The idea that his son, the man who had been at the helm of the Forrester Empire for so many years, could be capable of such dark deeds was too much for him to process. Brooke, Ridge's wife, was crushed. Her world, which had been built on love and trust, was shattered in an instant. She had always believed in Ridge, always defended him, but now she was forced to face the ugly truth. Ridge had lied to her, and he had lied to everyone, including himself. And for what? To protect a secret that could have easily been forgiven if only he had been honest from the beginning. As Ridge stood there, surrounded by the people he loved and the ones he had betrayed, the weight of his actions finally came crashing down on him. Carter, having gathered all the evidence, went straight to the authorities. The police were swift in their response, and Ridge was arrested for the murder of Quinn Fuller. The charges were clear: first-degree murder. The case against him was damning, and there was no way to escape the consequences of his actions. Ridge, once so powerful and untouchable, now found himself facing a future where his freedom was no longer guaranteed. The Forrester name, so long synonymous with wealth, power, and prestige, was now associated with scandal, lies, and murder. Ridge's arrest sent shockwaves through the entire Forrester family and the fashion world. The public was stunned to learn that the man they had admired and trusted had been hiding such a dark secret. Ridge's betrayal was felt not only by his family, but by the entire Forrester company, which was built on a foundation of trust and integrity. With Ridge's arrest, the company was thrown into turmoil. The question on everyone's mind was whether the Forrester legacy could survive this scandal. Would Eric Forrester, still reeling from the discovery of his son's crimes, be able to salvage the company, or would Ridge's actions bring the Forrester empire to its knees? As Ridge sat in a jail cell, facing the reality of what he had done, he found himself at the mercy of the justice system. His past, which he had tried so hard to protect, was now exposed to the world. The Forrester family, once united in their love for Ridge, was now divided. Eric and Brooke were left to pick up the pieces of a shattered family. The once proud patriarch of the Forrester family, a man who had built an empire from the ground up, was now a criminal, with his future uncertain and his legacy tarnished beyond repair. For Donna, the pain of discovering the truth about her child and Ridge's lies was almost too much to bear. She had always loved Ridge, but she could never have imagined the depths of his betrayal. The child, now grown and in front of her, was a painful reminder of the life she had lost. A life that Ridge had stolen from her, all for the sake of his own reputation. Donna, devastated by the truth, was forced to reconcile with the fact that the man she had once loved had not only kept her child from her, but had also taken the life of a woman who had been a part of their family. As Ridge's trial looms on the horizon, the Forrester family faces an uncertain future. The damage done by Ridge's actions cannot be undone, and the scars of his betrayal will remain for a long time. Brooke, devastated by the realization that the man she had built her life with was a murderer, is left to rebuild her own life. Eric, unable to forgive his son for the unimaginable betrayal, must now come to terms with the fact that Ridge is no longer the man he once was. And Donna, left to deal with the consequences of Ridge's secret, must find a way to heal and move on. The arrest of Ridge Forrester marks the beginning of a new chapter for the Forrester family. One that is filled with uncertainty, pain, and betrayal. The future of the Forrester empire is now in jeopardy, and the once proud family must find a way to navigate the aftermath of Ridge's shocking actions. The bold and beautiful world that Ridge once dominated is no more, and the truth, however painful, has set everything in motion. Ridge's arrest is just the beginning of the unraveling of the Forrester family, and the consequences of his betrayal will echo through the halls of Forrester Creations for years to come.